Hello and thank you for joining ContentoNowTV, a TV studio and show that hosts authors from many countries all over the world, trying to understand the inner secrets, the authoring stories of behind the scenes of the publishing process and of the great books. We're so happy to host with us Daniel Dana, Dr. Daniel Dana. Hi, Daniel.
Good to see you.
Thank
you so much for this time. This is my great honor to be with you and your lovely audience.
Thank you very, very much. And if you could choose 1 second that turned your life into a story of success, what moment would it be?
I will definitely go back to 1970, the year that I accepted as a student of law school in Tehran University. It was extremely happy time for me.
This moment of law school in Tehran University.
Yes, that I started to study law in Tehran University.
Why was it so powerful moment?
Because in that year, 1970, I assumed that over 850,000 people participate in the concours entrance examination to the university, and only 150 could be accepted as law school. 150 competing of 850,000.
That's against all odds.
This is extraordinary. Well, makes me extremely happy.
And when you're talking about against all odds, what percentage of prosperity would it be that you, born in Tehran, born, if I may say, Muslim, are here living in Israel out of all so many places, growing a great and wonderful and warm family here? How did it occur?
This is my great honor to be a family member of a great Israel. And this is, I believe, that God wants me to, well, join my destiny with this nation. 22 years ago, on 22nd of November 1994, I arrived for the first time into Israel regarding our research program for my postdoctorate degree with Hobart University, Tasmania. And God wants me to stay here because I found my wife, lovely Marina. We married a couple of months later, and well, God wants me to stay here and serving people here in Israel.
And you had to escape 3 ropes for hanging in order to overcome and to bring here the book with the wonderful stories in English, in German, also in French, also in Germany, in Hebrew. Tell me the story of the first rope.
This is a longer story, but first of all, you have to read in Abayev. This is the mother.
The mother and the father of all the books.
Yes, this is in fact, the builder of this story. That I understand, my family were Jew, and old generations, 7 generations ago, they were from Anosei Mashhad in northwest Iran, which they suffered from pogrom 1839, and they left Iran to the city of Dushanbe in Turkmenistan, and later on Tashkent, Bukhara, Samarkand, and my mother was 3 when they come back after roughly 80 to 120 years. They came back to Iran in 1927, more or less, with my grandfather. My grandfather those days was Abayev. And
it means that he was a Jew.
As Islamic, well, let's say government in 1927 in Iran, he forced to change his family to Danande. This is the reason why I became Dana.
So
I changed my family.
This is the first hanging rope that you and your family had to overcome in order to succeed. The second hanging rope would be?
Okay, I can't claim that this is the first hanging. The story of 3 hanging based on my political activity of the first day that Ayatollah Khomeyni arrived into Paris in 1978, September, more or less September 1978. I was studying with law school in Pantone University of Paris, preparing my doctorate degree. And all Iranian students, they were excited for Khomeyni as a revolutionary man. I was against them, and my conflict with revolutionary government started in that time.
This was the first.
My military background, including of my sportive background, very rich sportive as national champion and, well, military background, caused me to establish for the first time in the history of Islamic revolution in Iran a paramilitary organization against the system. And this paramilitary organization practiced many things against the regime. This is why I have heard that, well, I have condemned with tribunal of revolutionary court for 3 times death execution.
3 times death execution.
It means that they love me so much to send me to paradise.
Yes, 3 times.
Yes.
Why are they so in love with your soul that they want it to be out of your body?
Because in that time, establishing a paramilitary group against the system was not an easy job.
Not today, even.
Okay, that time, in the first days of Islamic revolution, successful in Iran was extremely critical for the system, for policymakers of a revolutionary group of people in Tehran. I can give you an example. In 1981, from 7th to 13th August 1981, which was approximately a year and a half after a successful of revolutionary operation in Iran, my group captured Tabarzin missile gunboat in Spain. We came to Morocco, we came to France, Toulon Francais. We were projected to invade the Iranian opposition leaders to establish the government in exile, to go back to Persian Gulf, and cooperating with Iranian navies and different opposition group. Chief of Staff General Ariana was in the north, forcing from south, north, and middle the Iranian tribes to finish the story of Islamic revolution.
That's amazing.
This is one of the operations that we have done successfully, but unfortunately we're not successful to finish the Islamic Republic. This is why, including of many other operations that we have done, well, I condemn for 3 times death execution by tribunal court, revolutionary court.
So these 3 hanging ropes and 3 death sentences that you are carrying on your shoulder, and you're giving lectures all around the world regarding these stories. But do you see any hope in the coming future? Any new hope for the people, the Israelis, the Iranians, the Persians, in this time of Hezbollah and Jihad and ISIS and the Iranian regime? Do you see any hope?
In my eyes, in my heart, and in my mind, and in my, well, estimation, this is more than clear. I am 100% sure that a day this regime in Iran will collapse, will finish sooner or later, and God's willing, democracy will replace.
How? When?
Okay. I am not the only soldier that, while doing my best for, well, achieving our goals to implementing the democracy in Iran, tens of thousands of soldiers as myself, they are doing their best, either inside of Iran or outside of Iran. Iranian opposition is strong enough, but unfortunately, for a moment, the international audience are not really protected, or the benefits or the interests of international apparatus is not based on the policy of opposition. But I am more than clear that sooner or later the system will collapse, and God's willing, democracy will implement in Iran.
When you're visualizing this scene, it's like sounds like a fiction, but maybe it's going to be a non-fiction film about your life, and perhaps producers and scripters from around the world will see this interview with you. If you could lead them in to the best scene out of this book, out of your personal story, how this scene would look like?
I believe that, well, the system, the political, economic, and social effort in Iran is pregnant for a new life system. Because this sort of anti-civilized Shi'i Islamic, which is practicing in Iran during last 38 years, is completely anti-civilized, anti-democratic, Western civilization, anti-humanitarian. This system cannot continue. 38 years based on terrorism, terror, and murderership, they continue. By the time has to be collapsed, has to be stopped, and opposition will be strong enough to change the system. This is what I definitely, absolutely, concretely believe on that.
So as an academic person and as a lecturer around the world, and as someone who wrote books that are being published in so many languages around the world, you're seeing the scene of the movie that millions of Persian, of Iranian are just walking throughout the government and making and change by their walk.
The question, yes, correct. Let's correct it. I say not millions, but tens of millions. Sooner or later. And honestly, I can tell you 95% of Iranian population right now are against the system. But why the system is continuing? Because of force, because of military operation, because of money, because of petrodollar and many other interests by Westerners who are supporting because of the economy interesting. But however, these interests for the West, sooner or later they will understand that they are assisting and they are following in rank assumption, Barjah, or the new contract or protocol between 5+1, Western and US and Europe, with atomic nuclear activities with Iran will stop sooner or later. And I believe that Donald Trump has a very special understanding of such interpretation in close future to start very severe negotiation with the system. And we have a lot of reports and very practical news which is happening in Iran. People are ready for some basic changes.
Daniel Dana, I want to thank you so much for being part of us, having this interview here in our TV studios. First of all, thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, dear Natalia. This is my great honor to be a member of Contento, and I wish the best for audience and all those who are interested to read and use your lovely production.
Thank you very much. If you have any question to Dr. Daniel Dana regarding the story, regarding the book, regarding his lectures, you're so kindly invited to go to the Facebook, our Facebook, the website of Daniel Dana, and just to click and to be in touch in order to gain direct communication. Thank you so much for being part of ContentoNow TV. Any question that you might have regarding the publishing process of yourself on your book, please don't hesitate. Click, send a message, and we'll be more than happy to assist you shortly. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.